hello again. This is the part 2 of my report entitled Legal Basis of MTB-MLE. So this second part was on the legal basis of MTB-MLE, the Kindergarten Act of 2011 RA 10157. Mandates the mother tongue as the primary medium of instruction for teaching and learning in the kindergarten level, while the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013 or RA 10533, known as K-12 law, mandates the use of the mother tongue as the primary medium of instruction not only in the kindergarten but up to grade 3. And then, so why MTB-MLE? The laws and other related documents can shed light on the spirit behind the institutionalization of MTB-MLE to the delight of many but consternation of perhaps a few. These legal documents are national and international of origin. So mo to ganina akong gi-report no, the Kindergarten Act of 2011 RA 10157. It mandates the mother tongue as the primary medium of instruction for teaching and learning in the kindergarten level, while the second, the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013 RA 10533 mandates the use of mother tongue as primary medium of instruction not only in kindergarten but up to grade 3. So here in 1987 Philippine Constitution, Article 14, language. So simple ra gyud ni siya no, ang national language nga gamit diri sa Philippines is no other than Filipino. Dili lang nako basahon no, but here kanang diri gibutang na the government shall take steps to initiate and sustain the use of Filipino as a medium of official communication and as language of instruction in the educational system. So diri sa 1887 Philippine Constitution Article 14, ang language na gigamit diri is the Filipino. So here in section 7, Filipino language is used in communication and instruction. So simple, taas-taas na ni siya, pero simple lang yung gihapon ni siya na. Filipino is the national language used for instruction and communication. So the official language of the Philippines are Filipino and until otherwise provided by the law. In section 8, using Filipino and English language, and it should be translated to local languages. It can be Arabic or Spanish. Here in section number 9, it talks about the promoting or propagation and reservation of Filipino and other languages. So simple lang ni siya, i-preserve lang ang language na Filipino. In section 14, the state shall foster preservation, enrichment, and dynamic evolution of a Filipino national culture based on the principle of unity and diversity on a climate or free artistic and intellectual expression. So in section number 14, ang naragay diri kay evolution or preservation rather in the evolution of a Filipino national culture. And then in section 15, arts and letters shall enjoy the patronage of the state. So moing ganito og patronage, guys, kay mo na siya ang support given by the organization or by the government. Nakasulat diri, the state shall conserve, promote, and popularize the nation historical and cultural heritage and resources as well as the artistic creation. So dapat daw i-promote ang mga historical events and cultural heritage diri sa Philippines. So in section 18, the state shall ensure equal access to cultural opportunities through the educational system, public or private cultural entities, scholarship, grants, and other incentives, and community cultural centers and public venues. So in Section 17, the state shall recognize, respect, and protect the rights of indigenous culture communities to preserve and develop their cultures, traditions, and institutions. It shall consider this right in the formulation of national plans and policies. So in Section 17, dapat daw ang government or the state shall respect and protect the rights of indigenous cultures. So if we say indigenous culture, so example sa mga indigenous culture guys kay kanang mga Aita, mga Ipugaw, nya kana gani si Wanggod kana ganing magtato nga manual kana mag pik na siya mo na siya si Wanggod, dapat daw na siya i-preserve kay panagsan na daw or wala na ilain nga magtato nga mag ing ana paggamit like ita man siguro mo ana ing ana ang magdukdok si Wanggod. So, muna siya example sa indigenous culture. So, then next is the RA 10157. Ibalik na sa niya siya, no? The Kindergarten Act of 2011. Section 5, Medium of Instruction. So, the state shall hereby adopt the mother tongue-based multilingual education method. The mother tongue of the learner shall be the primary medium of instruction for teaching and learning in the kindergarten level. So, ang gamiton gihapon diri nga medium of instruction is the mother tongue of the learner. So, if Manila ka, ang imuhang language nga gamiton is Filipino. Kung sa Visayas ka or dili ka sa Cebu, ang imuhang gamiton nga medium of instruction is the Cebuano. Pero daghan mang dialect sa diri sa Cebu, but still, ang gamiton nga language is the Cebuano. Kung taga Bohol ka, so imuhang gamiton is Boholano. Kung Iloilo ka, o mo sa ilahang gamiton nga native language ang ilahang pinulungan. So in RA 10533 Enhanced Basic Education of 2013, in Section 2, Basic Education shall be delivered in languages understood by the learners. So dapat daw kung unsa nga language ang gitulo sa bata, if English gid ang iyahang English ang first language nga gitulo sa ilahang balay. So, ang imuha sad ana if sa eskwelahan sad magamit sad ka og English kay para hinay-hinay sad ba ang pag-transition sa bata, like para masabtan sad og dali sa bata ang gitudlo sa maestra. Because language plays a strategic role in shaping formative years of learners. In section number 2, Declaration of Policy, make education learner-oriented and responsive to the needs, cognitive and cultural capacity, the circumstances and diversity of learners, schools, and communities through the appropriate language of teaching and learning, including the mother tongue, as a learning resource. So like for example, ang bata kay hinay, laylain man gid ang mga bata, hinay ang bata maka-comprehend sa leksyon. So imo sana siyang hinay-hinayon og pagtudlo. Like imo siyang i-appeal sa mga group work, sa mga peer teaching, kuan ba kanang inclusivity ba? Dapat i-include nimo siya sa mga gibuhat sa ubang estudyante, dili kay lahi man siya og language, imo lang siyang ilain, imo lang siyang itipon sa uban nga mga estudyante kay para sad maka-adjust siya hinay-hinay o maka-learn siya og mga something nga wala niya nahibaw-an. So in section 4, for kindergarten and the first 3 years of elementary education instruction, teaching materials and assessment shall be in regional or native language of the learners. So mo hapon no, balik-balik ng gihapon ni siya no. Dapat gyud ang gamiton nga as a medium of instruction sa learners if from kindergarten to grade 3 is katuging mother tongue nila kay para masabtan gyud nila ug makuha unsa may gitudlo sa maestra. Kay diha naman sila sa grade 4 to grade 6, diha na gyud sila maghinay-hinay og transition og kat-on sa lain pa nga mga language na nakabutang diri until such time when these two languages can become the primary of languages of instruction of the secondary level. Katong two two languages are the Filipino and the English. So here in section number 5, which is the curriculum development, nag-talk rin siya og standards and principles which serve as guide of the development of K-12 curriculum. So na din the curriculum shall be learner-centered, inclusive, appropriate, nasa dinhi ang responsive, research-based, and global, naghisgot sa diri ang global, no? And then culture sensitive. So dapat daw imusad siyang kung unsa may culture sa usa ka bata, dapat respect sad na nimo, i-respect sad na nimo kung unsa man ang culture or belief sa usa ka bata, kay we are in diverse community man. Lahi-lahi gyud ta og pagtuo, lahi-lahi ta mga tao, lahi-lahi gyud ta og culture nga gisunod. So here in paragraph F, the curriculum shall adhere to the principles and framework of mother tongue-based multilingual education, or MTB-MLE, which starts from where the learners are and from what they already knew, proceeding from known to the unknown. So there you guys, learning new concept is more effective when students can relate them to what they already know. So this approach facilitates comprehension by connecting new information to pre-existing knowledge. So muna siya ang known to the unknown. Dili man siya makuha ang known to the unknown. Now let's proceed to DepEd Order 4, Series of 74, 2009. It is the Institutionalizing MTB-MLE. So, kanina order is medyo taas-taas man siya. Ako lang siyang i-simplify, no? This DepEd Order number 4, Series of 74, 2009. This mandated the use of learners' mother tongues as the medium of instruction in the early years of schooling. This policy is also known as Mother Tongue-Based Multilingual Education, or MTB-MLE. This order, of course, institutionalized the use of more than 2 languages for literacy and instruction, starting with the learner's first language. It was implemented from preschool to grade 3 and also extended to alternative learning system, or ALS. This policy was a key element to the K-12 curriculum and was aligned with the various research studies supporting the positive effects of using mother tongue in education. So, more na siya, simple lagi kaya na siya. Taas-taas lang na, pero more na siya ang meaning, ana. So, mandated the use of learners' mother tongues as a medium of instruction in the early years of schooling. So, in DepEd Order number 16, Series of 2012, Guidelines on the Implementation of the Mother Tongue-Based Multilingual System, or MTB-MLE. So, here, simple asad kayo niyo siya, no? This order implemented mother tongue-based multilingual education in Philippine public schools. This uses students' native languages as the medium of instruction in grade 1 to 3 to help students better understand lesson and engage in class. So, more na siya ang DepEd Order number 16, 2012. So, makita naman gyapon ni diri ang kaning mga languages or lingua franca nga gigamit dinhi sa Philippines, no? Tagalog, Kapampangan, Pangasinense, mo ni sila ang mga ug uban pa nga mga mother tongue na gigamit as language of instruction. Next is the DepEd Order number 31, Series of 2013. So, kanisad siya, nag-talk sa niya siya o mother tongue, yapon ni siya used as a medium of instruction, no, for grades 1 and 2, for teaching mathematics, araling panlipunan, music, arts, physical education, health, and education and pagpakatao. So, Mother tongue also is taught as a separate learning area in grades 1 and 2. Filipino also is as a learning area as first introduced in grade 1 during the second quarter. And then English as a learning area and first introduced in grade 1 during the third quarter or grading period. Next is the provincial ordinance. An ordinance establishing Ilocos as an official provincial language of La Union. So, since dili man ta sa taga La Union, ato lang ni siyang skip. Ani siya? Let's skip to 14.4. To host annually activities showcasing and celebrating the value, death, birth, and history of Ilocano people, language, and culture, and other groups native to the province as part of Filipino heritage. And then 14.5, to observe Buwan ng Wika in pluralistic manner in consonance with the constitutional mandate of Commission on Filipino Language to develop, propagate, and preserve Filipino and other languages. So, kung sa man to ang Buwan ng Wika na to. So, ang Buwan ng Wika is celebrate nato na siya every August 1 to 31. So, pag sa una, ang kanisiyang Buwan ng Wika, dili pa na siya buwan. It is Linggo ng Wika. So, ang Linggo ng Wika, giproclaim na siya ni President Sergio Osmeña. So, giselebrate na siya sa una, March 27 to April 2. So, gitawag na siya sana og Linggo ng Wika, kay 1 week naman. This time is the Buwan ng Wika, which is August 1 to 31. Okay, so let's skip again to section 15. Section 15 is basic education. This code provides basic education for the following. So, Iloco man siya. So, let's skip. Gihapon din no? 15.1, 15.2 to 15. So, dirita sa 15.4. So, no discriminatory practices shall be allowed based on the language. So, sa imong classmate, na gani different na language ang gigamit. So, dili mo siya discriminate, instead, imo siyang tabangan o tudluan kung unsay mga meaning ng mga words. Kay naay example, naay words sa ilaha nga inig-istorya niya is lahi na day og meaning diri sa tuwa. So imo siyang tudluan para dili na mautro, para dili siya mauwawan. Dili mo siya sungugon, dili mo siya bati mo na siya taka mo na siya istorya nga. Imo siyang tudluan og tarong. 15.7, skip ya po ni nato siya, no? Okay. Laon yan man siya nagtalk. Okay, next is the rights of the children basis of MTB-MLE. So the Convention on the Rights of the Children is the most ratified international human rights treaty in history. It was adopted by the General Assembly of the United Nations on November 20, 1989. So, these are the list of provision lifted by the Convention of Rights of the Children. So, Article number 29, state parties agrees that the education of the child shall be directed to the development of respect of the child's parents, his or her own cultural identity, language, and values of the national values of the country in which the child is living, the country from which he or she may originate, for civilizations different from his own. Masabtan naman na siya, no? So, Article 30, those states in which ethnic, religious, or linguistic minorities or persons of origins exist, a child belonging to such a minority or who is indigenous shall not be denied the right of community with other members of his or her group to enjoy his or her own culture. So, kuha naman ng article number 30, no? Next is the UN Declaration on the Rights of Persons Belonging to Ethnic, Religious, and Linguistic Minorities. List of Human Rights on Cultural Identity. So, article number 1, States shall protect the existence and the national, or ethnic, cultural, religious, or linguistic identity of minorities within the respective territories. So, mura gyapon gibalik-balik ra gyapon us protect the existence and the national or the ethnic, cultural, religious of identity of minorities. So, respect gihapon ang mga ethnic noong mga gagmay nga mga groups. And then, 2, states shall adopt appropriate legislative and other measures to achieve those. And so, dapat ang government sad nila kay mag-create sad sila og law para maprotektahan ang katong mga minorities na group. Next, persons belonging on national or ethnic, religious, and linguistic minorities, hereinafter referred to as persons belonging to minorities, have the right to enjoy their own culture, to profess, to practice their own religion. So, for example, ang mga Ifugao, naman na sila yung mga buhaton nga mga they have their own practice, no? So, tagaan na sila og bili or tagaan na sila right to celebrate their culture. They develop their culture, language, religion, traditions, and customs, except where specific practices are on violation of national law and contrary to international standards. If either kanang nag-violate na siya sa law, so that's a different case. Number 3, states should take appropriate measures so that wherever possible, persons belonging to minorities may have adequate opportunities to hear their mother tongue or to have instruction in their mother tongue. So, tayo na siya, sabton, dali ra siyang makuha, no? Kay, kung ano man sad niya siya, opportunities to hear their mother tongue or to have instruction in their mother tongue. So, kung sa kanila ha, mga inistoryahan or ang language na gamiton, let them talk, let them say their native language also. So, respect lang jud siya. Number 4, last, state should, where appropriate, takes measure in the field of education in order to encourage knowledge of the history, traditions, language, and culture of the minorities existing within their territory. Persons belonging to minorities should have adequate opportunities to gain knowledge of the society as a whole. So, ethnic man sila doesn't mean nga wala sila right, no, to know sad kung unsay nahitabo sa kalibutan. They're part of as a society man. They're part of, belong sila sa country. So, dapat nasad sila right to know kung unsay mga panghitabo sa, or unsay mga global issues nga nanghitabo sa ilang palipot. So, that's it. Thank you for listening. This is the end of my discussion. Thank you.